I would have directed a film as bad as Sand Pirates of the Sahara, I'd want Amnesia too. The Majestic, released in 2001, and is directed by Frank Darabont, who's also behind such films like The Shawshank Redemption, amazing, The Green Mile, and The Mist. Basically everything Stephen King. And this film stars Jim Carrey, Laurie Holden, Bob Balaban, Jeffrey DeMunn, and David Ogden Stiers, who just passed away earlier this year, which is really saddening to me because I will always remember him as the old guy from that TV series, Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. It's the early 1950s, and Peter Appleton is a screenwriter for Hollywood. But one day he finds out that he has been put on the blacklist because he's been accused of being a communist. So one night he gets drunk, he goes for a drive, he gets into an accident that affects his memory. So washing up on the shores of the beach, he is found, brought to this small little town called Lawson, California, and there he is mistaken for long-lost war hero and town hero Luke Trimble. So as the government scrambles to find this long-lost communist, Peter Appleton is trying to acclimate himself into the life of Luke Trimble. And it gets to the point in this movie where you start to believe that this character, Peter Appleton, used to be Luke Trimble before World War II. And this was a really big departure from what Jim Carrey was used to doing around this time. He had The Cable Guy, Ace Ventura, Liar Liar. It was primarily comedic stuff. But then he tried taking his career into a different direction with more dramatic work. So he did films like The Truman Show, Man on the Moon, and then this film. And I love it when a comedic actor tries to take their career down the dramatic side, because I typically found that those actors are the better actors. It is much harder to be a sustainable comedic actor in this business. So if you're a very successful comedic actor, really, drama shouldn't be that hard, right? And I really love Jim Carrey's dramatic work. He was stellar in The Truman Show. I still think he should have been nominated for that. And then he went very method with Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon, so I was really looking forward to this film. And truthfully, I was not disappointed. I really like this film, because the basis of our time in the town of Lawson, California, we are in a movie theater, or at least trying to fix up this one-screen, classic-looking movie theater. Well, not classic for them, because that was their time. But this is when I really started diving into film and starting to develop my love for film. And watching this movie, it was my dream retirement job to find a small 1 or 2 screen movie theater in a small town somewhere in this country, fix it up new, and then have that be my job for the rest of my life. That was my goal for a long period of time. And nowadays with streaming services and, movie theaters closing left and right, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing that. But you get to see the inner workings of building up this theater, doing construction on the theater, running a theater. On the surface level, though, doesn't dive too deep into that, but it's a nice introduction. Really trying to figure out, what the mindset is, or what type of a film this is. It's kind of two different things, and it's trying to figure out what kind of a film it is. Because at first we start off and it's this big conspiracy political thriller, and then it turns into this fish out of water concept, kind of to the point of It's a Wonderful Life. The townsfolk, how they build up this character, Luke Trimble, very It's a Wonderful Life. And then it switches over into a courtroom drama, so there's really 3 types of films in this movie. And it doesn't necessarily flow well all the time. We spend the majority of our time in Lawson with Peter Appleton trying to figure out how he is Luke Trimble. Because everyone starts saying, oh yeah, he looks very familiar. And then Luke Trimble's father, Harry Trimble, played by Martin Landau, is this old character just sitting in a diner, and he sees this fella that kind of resembles his son that went missing in the war. They never found his body. They never declared him dead. All of a sudden, there's this person that looks like him, and there's this delusion and hope that this person who doesn't know who he is his son. And when you realize that, that's really sad, because his delusion is so deep, and he believes, or just wants to believe so much, that this person is his son, that he starts to convince everyone else in the town, and at a certain point starts to convince the audience too. And Jim Carrey plays being oblivious just perfectly in this movie. His relationship with the townsfolk, his relationship with Adele, it's cheesy, it's hokey, but I love it. I think that was the main criticism that this film got, that it was very hokey and cheesy and fake, and oh gosh, it's a fairy tale ending. Here's a nice gif with a nice little bow on it, there you go. And yes, it is. This is cheese. It's a very happy ending, but you know what? Sometimes I want that. And right around this time when this film was released, it was right after September 11th in the United States, so it was kind of nice having a film out in theaters and out on DVD where the good guys win. Plus, it has that killer speech at the end of the film about patriotism and the First Amendment. This is the 50s. Everyone was paranoid that maybe my neighbor, maybe my coworker was a communist and they were spying on us for the Russians. And all these people are called out and called to testify saying, hey, are you a communist? And if they refused to answer, they would be locked up. So more and more people started being named, and yeah, they just made up fake names or got up there and just said, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. When really they weren't, but just to play ball to move on with their lives, they said, okay, yes, do what you want to me, fine. Just please give me my life back. And that is not how this country is supposed to work. If you call me something I'm not, I have every right established by this country to call you out and say, go fuck yourself. And it's a great display of patriotism and just reinvoking that First Amendment, which it's basically free will. That is your right. You have free will. You have the right to make your decision, regardless of what anyone else thinks. You have the right to develop a YouTube channel and to give your criticism on film. You have the right to go to a town hall meeting and calling out your representatives on their bullshit. You have the right to not stand for the national anthem, regardless of if that is someone else's belief. It doesn't matter. It's your belief. You do what you want to do. You say what you want to say, because you have that right. I love that closing part of this film. And Martin Landau as Harry Trimble is absolutely heartbreaking because you know he's delusional, but you go along with him, and he's such a lovable character that Martin Landau, he does a great job here. Laurie Holden is actually tolerable in this film. I've only seen her in this and in the first couple of seasons of Walking Dead, where she was annoying as fuck for me. Hey, where are you two going? Why can't I come? Because what we're doing does not concern you. Back the fuck off. So annoying. But she has great chemistry with Jim Carrey. I love their relationship. In creating the atmosphere of this town, I think the cinematography, the music plays a huge part, and it does it very well here. This small town, Lost in California, gave almost 70 of their sons of this town to the war, and the majority of them did not return. So when we first get there, it's somber, it's dreary, it's very dark. But then Peter Appleton or Luke Trimble comes back, and all of a sudden things start to brighten up and we start to see smiles in the townspeople. Hokey, cheesy, but I love it. So guys, in the end, The Majestic, it's one of those hidden treasures of Jim Carrey that no one really talks about. It was a huge box office failure. I don't think it made even half of its budget back. But I caught this when it came out on DVD. It was one of the first DVDs that I ever owned, actually. And I love revisiting it from time to time. Just that final speech alone is absolutely worth it. And I definitely recommend you check it out because I'm going to give The Majestic 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. And this is a fan recommendation from one of my fans who's already had a recommendation on this channel, but she sent in a lot of other requests. This is Disney 65 fans' requests of Spider-Man 2. With great power comes great responsibility. Excelsior! Short little tribute to Stan Lee, who just passed away at the age of 95 a couple of weeks ago. A man who is behind the majority of our Marvel Cinematic Universe that we have. A cinematic universe that we probably would not have if this movie did not come out and was not a huge success. Because a lot of people would say that this film is one of the greatest comic book superhero movies that has ever been released, and I would pretty much agree with them. This is one of the first movies I went to the midnight screening for. I remember that. Got me a free poster. But I haven't seen this movie in so many years. I remember watching it all the time when it first came out. But ever since then, we've had like 50 other Spider-Men, so I've kind of forgotten about it. But I'm super excited to check it out again. Thank you very much, Disney 65 fan. You're the best. If anyone else has a recommendation of films that you want me to review here on this channel, please comment below this video, leave your recommendation there, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, my Twitter, leave your recommendation. If I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a shout out here on my channel. So guys, have you seen The Majestic? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this channel, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Spider-Man 2. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.